Well, we're back early on a Sunday. A little chilly out today, but wanted to go over a few things. Got my third row ready to plant for my two different varieties. But more importantly, I wanted to impart on you all a very important couple lessons about care for lavender. Because if you've killed lavender before, welcome to the club. I feel your pain. I've done it myself. But usually lavender dies for three main preventable reasons. And today, we're here to fix those. And before we finish, I'll show you the one place not to plant lavender. Let's get after it. So lavender really comes down to four main things. Sun, drainage, pruning, and a little neglect. If you can master those four things, your lavender will grow into a beautiful, colorful, fragrant bush rather than a sad-looking woody stick. So keep that in mind. Number one, what we want to try and do is mimic the Mediterranean conditions, which is hot and dry and good rocky soil. It doesn't even have to be the best of most nutrient soil, it just has to promote drainage. Ideally, we want to set up our rows to be south facing because that way it's going to get the best opportunity to get 6 to 8 hours of sun. As far as amendments, you may want to add some, to help promote drainage, some coarse sand or some bird's eye like I do, or maybe some crushed limestone, as long as the crushed limestone doesn't compact and create a dam around essentially a dam around your lavender and cause it to pool up water and sit in water. You don't want to do that. Maybe a little perlite, throw some perlite in the hole. That helps promote drainage, and it's not going to be water soluble. If you're like me and you've tended to your lavender only to see it die a slow death, there's a few reasons for that. So number one, we want to make sure we place our lavender in the right area. Pure sunlight. You want nothing impeding the ability for the sun to hit the lavender. The soil doesn't even have to be perfect. Lavender will do well in the poorest of soils. And so what we're trying to do is just kind of leave it alone. It's almost like the cactus of the herb family. So what we have here is you want to select a spot that is going to give it the best opportunity to thrive, and then leave it alone. So here we have a south-facing bed. You want it south-facing because that's going to provide you the most consistent 6 to 8 hours, if you can, of sunlight. And so south-facing is going to provide that. North-facing is, or east to west, is just not going to provide that what you need there. If you can amend the soil, add in, like here I have what they call bird's eye, and it's strictly for drainage. It's a lot of landscapers use it to mix into like for French drains and things like that, so that the water just dissipates through the ground quicker. You don't want it sitting in a essentially a bucket of water that will kill the lavender slowly. So, south facing, well drained. Let's talk about a second thing that reasons why lavender dies for a great majority of people. And that's our watering techniques. People want to overwater, and water or lavender thrives in dry conditions. It does not need that much water. And so what you want to do is water slowly right here at the base of the plant. We don't necessarily need to get the top, just slowly water right here at the base. And then for new plants, we want to water it, every 2 to 3 days. For established plants, you could probably water it once every 1 to 2 weeks. So we want to let the water soak into the roots. That's the most important thing. Get those roots wet and then move on down the road. And then the key is to make sure that the soil is dry before we water again. Now, some people set it up on a drip system, which is fine, but a lot of times the amount of water that is on that drip system is literally a drip. I mean, drip, like every, hour or so. It just does not need that much water. Now, if you're doing your lavender in pots, you want to make sure that the pots have good drainage, have holes at the bottom, and you want to get about the top 1 to 2 inches saturated in water, and just let that drain and not water it again until that soil is dry again. And truly, once lavender gets established, it needs very little water, and most of the time can survive off of just rainfall. So be very conscientious about how much water you give. Oh, and you probably want to keep it weed free if you can do that, because you don't want the plant to actually have to compete for nutrients with weeds. That's no bueno. Now I'm going to take you inside the barn and show you a variety I've been nursing in my mini greenhouse, and it's called Pacific Blue. It's a angustifolia. So I want to show you the proper pruning techniques. So let's get inside where it's a little warmer and go over that. Pruning is one of the most important things you can do for the care of your lavender. So one of the best times, and probably most important times to prune, is right after the flowering. And you want to kind of just cut back into, just get rid of the dead snaggly stuff and kind of reshape it into a nice mound. Okay, so you can tell where the new growth is here. Clearly right here, right here, right here. If you were going to prune this variety here, you definitely do not want to get into the brown woody area. You just want to simply cut these off. We would snip this new growth off. Very simply like that. Kind of like a bonsai tree. You just kind of tend to it and make sure you get rid of the old or the new growth. And we want to reshape it into a nice little mound. being conscientious about never ever getting into the woody area. There. That's ready to put on new growth, and it's ready to put the energy back into the root system. So that's what you want, is a nice little dome. So what are some signs that your lavender needs to be pruned? Well, you have these kind of long, leggy sprouts essentially on there, and they're not very consistent. One may be this long, the other may be this long, and so we want to make sure to kind of cut them all down, so make it consistent again. And another thing is, if it were to kind of split in the center, that's a sign that you want to reshape the plant. Also, if it has fewer flowers than normal, again, if you have last year you had tons and tons of flowers, this year, it could be a change in the environment or whatever, but it also could be your lavender is telling you it needs pruning. And the reason we want to do it sometimes in the spring is you want to remove any winter damage. People in northern climates have had, maybe snow resting on top of the lavender and causing it to separate and damage it and stuff like that. Well, you want to reshape the plant and cut that off and just make everything consistent and rounded to give it the best opportunity to grow in the springtime. So before I forget, what are some signs that your lavender isn't getting enough sun? It starts to get kind of a leggy growth. You got long stems like I talked about before, and then real short ones. And it just doesn't look right. If there's no flowers, that's definitely an indication that it's not getting enough sun. If the stems are kind of weak and they're floppy and they're long and they're leggy, and if they're just weak looking, it's a good indication that there's not enough sun. And then the coloring. I mean, as you saw before I pruned this, there was definitely a nice color. It was taking on the older part was a kind of a silvery green, and the young part was definitely a noticeable color difference. It was more of a lime colored green. So definitely a definitive color difference in the new growth. So if you have any questions about why your lavender is struggling or sad, leave a comment. I'll be happy to respond to all comments about. And if you want to watch the growth of my farm and the building of my paddocks and the colors and everything, please subscribe. I'd love to have you as part of my tribe. Thank you. Happy planting, happier nursing. Remember, lavender needs direct sun. So if you don't listen, the forest sends Karen to teach you a lesson.